Hello and welcome. Now in this video, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to talk about the RecyclerView adapter. Now in the RecyclerView adapter, ladies and gentlemen, our job will be more, okay? It's actually will hold a lot of stuff, okay? So that's why we need to take care of everything inside our adapter and understand it very well, okay? Because any small error will cause a big problem. So as you can see, I have wrote all these steps for you, ladies and gentlemen, behind the scenes for creating our RecyclerView adapter. Okay, as you can see here, the first step will be creating the adapter, which is a normal class. So here inside my Java folder, I'm going to right click, then choose new and Kotlin file class. Okay, here we can call it, for example, the recycler. Okay, we can call it, let's say, recycler adapter, and hit OK for Android Studio. Will take care for creating the class. So as you can see, we have first step done successfully, which is creating the adapter. Now what we need to do, we need to create everything manually. So as you can see, we need to type class, then the file name, okay, in this case our recycler adapter. Okay, after that we need to pass it two things. What I mean by pass it, that means creating two variables for this recycler adapter, and the first variable will be the data. Okay, I mean the things that we need to show. Okay, so I'm going to type data, and this data should be type of an array list. Okay, so I'm going to type an array of, not an array but array list. Okay, and this type of array list should be the class that we have created in the previous video. So I'm going to type custom class here. And the second variable we need to create, it's actually the context. So I'm going to type the variable, and we need to call it any name, in this case not content but context. Okay, context or something like this, of type context. So maybe we will need them for later on. Okay, and after that, what we need to do, ladies and gentlemen, we need to extend this variable from the RecyclerView adapter. And the reason behind this step is actually because the RecyclerView has a lot of steps or a lot of things that we can get benefit from it. Okay, so I'm going to type RecyclerView.adapter, and this actually will ask us to pass it a view holder. Now going back to our steps, here we have created our adapter successfully. Here we need to create the adapter. Now the adapter need a view holder, and the view holder is just a normal class that we are going to create it and pass it right here. Okay, but before that, I'm going to leave this like this, and here we are going to pass all the content that we can finish our job with. So the first thing to create the view holder, so I'm going to type class, then the name of it should be any name, okay, but something that describe ourselves. So I'm going to type view holder. Okay, view holder like this, and what we need to do, we need to pass it the item view. So I'm going to create a variable name it item view of type view. Okay, we need to extend it from the recycler view holder. Okay, and we need to pass here the item view variable that we have created in a second, and will be like this. And as you can see, we have an error here. It's asking us for importing this view, so hit alt and enter and click on import. And what we can do, ladies and gentlemen, inside the view holder, we are going to create the views here, the views inside our item, custom item. Then we are going to set a value on them. So I'm going to create a variable. Okay, I'm going to call it title of type text view. Okay, I'm going to create a variable. Okay, I'm going to call it image of type an image view, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to initialize them. Now what I mean by initializing, it's actually assign a variable value. Okay, that's mean assign a value to a variable. I'm going to type title, or before that we need to initialize them. Okay, so I'm going to create call the initializing. Okay, I'm going to type title. Okay, it's equal to the item view dot find the view by my id method r.id.item title, and I will explain everything in a second. Just let me try them first. Item view dot find the view by id method r.id.item image. Now what we did, ladies and gentlemen, we have created our view holder class, which is a normal class that will extend from the RecyclerView.view holder. And what we did, we passed it the item view. Now this item view will hold this whole layout, okay, and we can access any view from this custom item using the item view. Okay, and here we are creating a variable for the things that we need to show, in this case an image and a title. Okay, and also we have initialized them, that means assign a value to them. Okay, and we have done. Now here inside our RecyclerView.adapter, what we can do, we can pass it the view holder that we have created in a second. But before that, we need to type the name of our file, which is RecyclerAdapter.theViewHolder. Okay, and everything is set up. Now going back to the steps, here we have created the class. We have the first step is done, the second step is also done, which is creating the view holder. Now let's go ahead and finish the third step, which is creating the constructor. Now the reason behind creating the constructor, because once you call this recycler adapter inside your main activity, we need to call it by its constructor. That's why I'm going to create the constructor. Okay, so I'm going to type variable for our data. Okay, and this should be of type list. Okay, and what we can do here, we can pass it the custom class that we have, not the context but the custom class. Okay, and because this list should be of type in custom class, and we can initialize this very easily, typing this variable, this dot data, it's equal to the data. Simple as that. Okay, we have created our constructor successfully, and once we call this recycler adapter, we are going to call it using this constructor. Okay, now our third step is finished. Now going back here for the steps, as you can see, we have two steps remain. The first one is adding the methods, that's what we need, and finishing our job inside the methods. Now what I mean by methods, if you remember, ladies and gentlemen, when we work with the list view, we have worked with something called the getView method. Now the getView method in the recycler adapter is slightly different. We have more than one method that we need to work with, and every method has its own job. For example, we are going to start with the create view holder, which is this method. Okay, this method will help us to prepare the layout. What I mean by layout, that means this custom item. We are going to prepare it inside this create a view holder. So I'm going to create a variable. I'm going to call it layout. It's equal to the layout inflator class dot inflate or dot from the context, then dot inflate. The things that we need to pass is actually three. The first one is the layout, and we can get it by typing r.layout.custom-item. And the second thing is actually the variant. We can access typing variant. And the last thing, which is the attaching to root, we are gonna type it. It's asking us for a boolean, either true or false. In this case, we are gonna pass it false. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, if you look here, we have this override. That means it's a method with Android system. We can look here for this. It's asking us for return a view holder. Okay, so I'm gonna type return a view holder. Here we should give it a view, okay, a variable of type view. So I'm just gonna type the layout that we have on the top. Okay, here we have this variable. Okay, the layout variable. I'm just gonna pass right here. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pass the layout here for our view holder. Okay, and our job, it's done with the create view holder method. Now let's go ahead and move on the second method here, which is the onBindView method. Okay, now the onBindView holder method, it's actually slightly different from what we have. Okay, in this method we are gonna set the values on the views that we have. Okay, so what we need to type, holder. Okay, now the holder, it's actually this variable that you have here. Okay, now holder dot image or dot title, let's set the title first, dot text. Okay, it's equal to our what we can get the data here. Okay, we can type data. Okay, the data, the list of data that we have. Okay, and here it's asking us for which position that we want to set. That means which index. I mean we can set the position, okay, variable that we have. And also we need to type dot title, okay, because it will get the title and set it on the correct position for our text view. And the second thing, which will be our image, so I'm going to type holder dot image, okay, dot set image resource, it's equal to the data, okay, and we need to pass the position once again here. So I'm going to type position. Then what we can do, we can type dot image. Now I will explain everything in a second. Now as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, this method onBindView holder method, it's give us two things. The first one is actually this variable here, okay, the holder variable, which contains some really sensitive information that we need to work with. In this case, our title, okay, and our image. I mean the text view and the image view. Okay, it's got been saved inside this holder variable. That's why we need to type holder first, then access the view that we want. And the second thing, it's this position. This position is also a variable of type int that's come with by default with the onBindView holder method, and we can use it for put the data correctly in its right position. Okay, and you will understand everything once we run our application on a real Android device. Okay, so these methods, for example, the onCreate view holder, it's expecting from us for example, a layout to save it inside of it. All of these stuff that come with these methods. Okay, that's why we need to finish our job inside these methods. Okay, so each method has its own job. Okay, let's go ahead and continue with our last method, which is the get item count. This method will actually require asking us for how many size, okay, or how many items we want to give or show in our recycler view. And we can type return, okay, we are gonna return the data dot size. That means as big as the data, well, we are gonna return it. Okay, and everything is set up, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so if you go ahead and take a look on these steps, okay, that we have, which is the first one, create the adapter, we have finished it successfully. The second one, which was creating the view holder class, we have did successfully. We have created our constructor and we have added the methods that we need. We have finished all the methods and our job inside them. So as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, our class, our adapter now is ready. We can use it and fill our data, okay, inside the recycler view, inside our main activity. Okay, so that was our third step, which is creating the adapter for the recycler view. Thank you guys so much for watching. We are going to continue on in the next video.